Ethan Morris had never seen so many chandeliers in one room. Their reflections shimmered across the marble floor like trapped stars, dazzling and unreal. He swallowed, tugging gently at the cuff of his only good shirt, the one he had ironed twice. No amount of ironing could hide that it wasn't designer, or anything close. He wasn't supposed to be here. He was a single dad who fixed air conditioners, packed lunchboxes with smiley face notes, and worked enough overtime to forget what weekends felt like. This gala, the sparkling, prestigious fundraiser filled with people who could buy a car with the cost of their watch, was not his world. The only reason he'd come was because his daughter's school had nominated him for something called the Community Heart Award, which still felt like a mistake. A group of guests near the staircase glanced at him, whispering behind their champagne glasses. Who invited him? Look at his shoes. He probably wandered in. Each comment chipped at his confidence, carving into wounds he thought had healed. Still, he pulled in a deep breath. He was here for his daughter, Lily. That was enough. His phone buzzed. Lily's smiling face lit up the screen, along with her message, "Dad, good luck. Proud of you." Just seeing it made him stand straighter. Ethan slipped the phone into his pocket, then froze. Across the room, she was looking at him. Miranda Hale. Billionaire. Philanthropist. Hostess of the gala. A woman so elegant that even the chandeliers seemed to dim in respect. And she was walking toward him. Guests parted like the sea as she approached, her presence commanding yet strangely warm. "Mr. Morris," she said. He blinked. "Yes, that's me. I've heard wonderful things about you." "You have?" "Your daughter is in my foundation's after-school program. She talks about you constantly." Miranda's voice softened. "She adores you." Ethan's jaw nearly dropped. "Wait, she's in your program?" "Yes." Miranda smiled. "Would you walk with me?" They moved toward the balcony, the hum of the gala fading behind them. The night air was crisp, dotted with golden city lights. "You look uncomfortable," she said gently. "Well, I'm not really the tuxedo and caviar type." "Neither am I," she said with a mischievous smile. "I just hide it well." Ethan laughed, surprised. "I'm the only person here who had to check his bank balance before paying for parking." Miranda turned serious, not pitying, just understanding. "Ethan, these people may be wealthy in money," she said, motioning toward the ballroom, "but you're wealthy in something far more meaningful." "What's that?" "Heart. Purpose. Courage. I read your nomination form. You work 2 jobs. You help elderly neighbors with repairs for free. And you raise a brilliant daughter on your own." She paused, her eyes warm. "That deserves recognition." Before he could respond, a tall man walked up, the same one who had laughed at Ethan earlier. "Miranda, you don't need to spend your time with." She turned slowly. "Finish that sentence," she said, her voice like velvet over steel, "and I'll have security escort you out." The man paled, mumbled something, and vanished. Ethan exhaled, stunned. "You didn't have to do that." "Yes," she said quietly, "I did." Moments later, the lights dimmed. The announcer walked onto the stage. "It's time," Miranda whispered. "For what?" "For your moment." Ethan's heart thudded. No way. "I'm nominated, but I'm not winning." She simply smiled. The announcer called out, "Ethan Morris, recipient of this year's Community Heart Award." His world tilted. Applause rose like a wave. People who had mocked him now stared, shocked, embarrassed. Ethan walked to the stage, his legs shaky, his vision blurry with disbelief. Miranda joined him, handing him the crystal award as cameras flashed. "Tonight," she said to the crowd, we honor a man who shows that true greatness comes from compassion, sacrifice, and love, not wealth." Emotion swelled in Ethan's chest. He leaned into the microphone. "I'm just trying to give my daughter the life she deserves," he said, voice trembling. "If that means being the odd one out in rooms like this, I'll still show up. For her. Always." The room fell silent, then erupted into applause, real, thunderous, unrestrained. Afterward, Miranda walked him to the door. "I want to offer you something," she said softly. "What could someone like me possibly accept from someone like you?" "A full scholarship for Lily," she said. "From now until college. Let her dream as big as she wants." Ethan couldn't speak. His throat closed, his eyes burned. "Why?" he whispered. "Because the world needs more kids raised by fathers like you." For the first time in years, Ethan felt something lift inside him, a weight he didn't realize he'd been carrying. Hope. Pure, bright hope. "You changed everything tonight," he said. "Not everything," she replied. "Just what needed changing." When he stepped out into the cool night, clutching the award, the city lights seemed to shine a little brighter. He pictured Lily's reaction. She would scream, laugh, maybe even cry happy tears. And for the first time in a long time, Ethan laughed too, a deep joyful sound that echoed into the night. Because sometimes, one act of courage, one act of kindness, one voice that stands up for someone who feels small, can change a life forever. And tonight, it changed his.